Welcome to the 100K Club podcast, your go-to place for equipping yourself with the tools and strategies that you need so that you can reach the next level in your personal income. That personal income, 100K, yeah? That's the 100K Club. That's the goal, get you to 100K. But first of all, we just need to start getting you some small wins more often. The more you win, the more small wins that you have, the more that you can win your day. The more that you can take more power moves. We're going to do a whole episode on power moves later on. But here's the power move I want you to do right now. Lewis, we're on episode 5. Show us how to make some more money. So let's get stuck into that then. How about we get stuck in how you can increase your income in small increments. Okay? So here's the first step for all you followers and listeners. There's followers and listeners, right? Listeners, the people that just listen every so often. Followers, the people that are now following on Spotify, on iTunes. By the way, follow on Spotify because that's where you get the most benefits, is if you're a follower on Spotify. So, and then there's of course the members as well, the 100K Club members. So what we're going to do then? Let's get stuck in. Followers, listeners, members. They're the 3 categories. Okay, just to explain what they are. Let's talk about how do we increase by the first increment that is just getting some small wins more often. Let's look at, if you listen to, episode 3, we spoke about vehicles. We spoke about all the different vehicles that you can start to do. We're going to focus on one vehicle today, which most likely is going to be your main source of income, your job, yeah? Where you work, where you spend the most time, yeah? So here's how to increase your income from your job by 2%. Number 1, we need to start learning before we start earning. So, pursue more training opportunities. Number 1, pursue more training opportunities. We're going to quickly, briefly go over these, by the way, ladies and gents, because if we spend too much time on them, then we can look into that in the further episodes. But for now, you just need the outline, and then we'll go into a lot more detail, because this is just how to increase it by 2%. Then we'll look at 5%, then 10%, then 20%, then 50%, then the 100K Club, right? Small increments. So number 1, pursue more training, yeah? More learning. How can you get more learning into your world? How do you get more learning into your environment? The more you learn, the more that you will learn. Number 2, get more skills. Get more technical skills. So not just any random skills. First things first, we've got to know the direction of travel. Yeah? What does that ideal day look like? Go back to episode 4. Your imagination. What is that day all about? Yeah? I told you guys, this is going to be a real fast download. You may need to go and grab a pen, pause this and go and grab a pen, because there's going to be a fast download of things here that are going to increase your income by 2%. Number 3, your network. Your network is your net worth. Yeah? Your network is your net worth. It has never been easier, more easier than ever in 2023 to grow a network of great people. 5 degrees of separation. Ever heard of the 5 degrees of separation? I told you guys, we're going to be going over things really quick right now. We only have this one episode to talk about this 2%. Then we talk about the 5%. So, the 5 degrees of separation. You're never more than 5 people away from anybody on the world. Yeah? So, if you go onto social media right now, if you go onto LinkedIn, if you was to go and find somebody who's an absolute rock star, an absolute leader, it could be Richard Branson, it could be Bill Gates, there will be people that he's connected with, that are connected with people, that are connected with people, that are connected with people, that are connected with people that you know. Yeah? 5 degrees, 5 people away. So, what is this saying? Start connecting with the people. If you want to start being around Richard Branson more, who are they connected to, and who are they connected to, and who are they connected to? Your network is your net worth. Number 4, your leadership skills. Not just your leadership skills in how you lead other people, because at the end of the day, the leaders, to become a great leader, you need great followers. So don't just follow on leadership skills. Think about, how do you get great followers? Yeah, the followers is what you measure, and that'll determine how good of a leader you are. So it's not just going out there and reading a load of fucking books about leadership. That would be a great, nice start. But ultimately, we need to think about how do we get followers. And I'm not talking about followers on social media. I'm talking about followers that actually want to listen and take on board what you have to say. That's the measure of being a great leader. So what can we do about it? Well, yeah, that's where you read the books. How does that help me increase my income in my workplace? Okay, well, when you start demonstrating that you're a great leader and you have people listening to you and you're a great influencer, yeah, you have followers, then guess what? That'll then be a value to you. That will then be something that people look up to you because you can show that people are influenced by what you have to say, which is a great value. Number 5, think about the people out there, right? Mentoring, yeah? Think about, can you get a mentor that can help you do this, right? If you're thinking about getting to the 100K club, who do you need around you? We spoke about this in previous episodes, the environment. Who do you need around you to start helping you get there? So people that go to climb this ladder of income to the 2%, they have great mentors around them. How does that help me increase my salary when I'm in the business? Well, you learn the mentor skills from a mentor. Then what happens when you start mentoring people? You get leverage. And if you get leverage, the leverage relies on you, which makes you more valuable. Okay? So there's another idea. Number 6, what about if you had a conversation where there was more things that you was available in your skill set, where you got so good at it that you could start to leverage your time into other areas of the business where more responsibilities you could take on board. So you could take on more responsibilities so that you could help in different areas and thus increase the value that you deliver. There's another way of getting 2%. Okay, what about, it is number 7, okay? Pursuing certifications or professional degrees, yeah? Earn a certification in your field so it demonstrates that, look, not just are you capable of it, but it demonstrates that you're serious about it. And if you're serious about it, people know where you want to get to and how you can help them as well, yeah? Here's the win for you, here's the win for them, right? They're very clear that you're serious about this and they'll do what it takes, that you will do what it takes for not just yourself, but for them too. Number 8, here's a big one, okay? Communication skills. Communication skills. Hey, Lewis, you're talking about communication. You sound like a Peaky Blinder. Yeah, I'm not talking about accents, ladies and gents. I'm talking about what you can actually deliver, how you talk, right? And if you're going out there and communicating and the people aren't getting it or they're not doing as you mention, it's not something to get frustrated about. It's that you just haven't communicated or delivered it in a way that suits their model of the world so they understand it. Yeah, that's really important to understand. And again, I've just said this briefly. That there is just the tip of the iceberg of something whole big in communication. And I can't explain that in a 30-second point on a podcast. Yeah, there's probably about 10 podcasts there just on communication. If you become a master of communication, you're not just talking about the 100K club, ladies and gents. You're talking about, the Millionaire Club. Number 9, develop your personal brand. Okay? If you are working in an organization, in a business, what stops you from actually becoming the go-to person within that industry? Yeah? You become that go-to person in the industry. You go and do the networking. You learn the communication. You learn how to market yourself. You learn how to be a great leader, a great influencer. You talk around the topics and people are engaging with it. They're liking it. Guess what? You're becoming more valuable. Yeah? You're becoming more valuable. And as you add more value, more people want to deal with you. And the more people that want to deal with you, regardless of what you do, the more people that will come to that business because you're a part of it. Yeah? So when you do go and say, hey, look, I want a 2% increase. Yeah? Well, okay. I would always say, by the way, when somebody does come, we're going to talk about this in the other episodes. Remember, this is just the 2% part. When you're talking and negotiating around your income, you've really got to think about how you do it. There's a way of doing that, and we'll speak about it in the other episodes. Okay, number 10. What about if you're going to be that influencer, that go-to person in the market? What do you need to do? You need to become and be ahead of the industry trends, okay? So whatever's going on around there, go and sign up to your industry trends. Who are the go-to experts in your industry? Follow them on social media. Sign up to their newsletters. Get bombarded by their newsletters into your inbox. So, remember those emails that you always get that you never really asked for? Yeah? How much do they piss you off? Well, what about if it was on purpose, that you wanted them to piss you off every day? What do I mean by that? Well, the more that they're sending you these newsletter emails, the more it's keeping you accountable. Going, hey, look, you said once upon a time that you were serious about this industry, and now you're not actually pulling your weight around it. Okay, so it's a constant reminder, daily or weekly, that this is something that you asked for. Very similar to the 100K Club podcast, isn't it? You're going to get, when you become a follower, yeah, not just a listener, you're followed by clicking follow on the Spotify podcast, you get notifications that there's been a new 100K Club podcast. And you may look at that notification and go, oh man, I need to turn these notifications off. But remember, the reason you're getting notifications is because you wanted to be an industry leader and learn all this stuff about how to raise your income. So from time to time, we may forget that, and another thing may go and take our attention somewhere else. Getting the notifications is that little on the side of the head to go, hey, look, you asked for this. Are you still serious about 100K? Because it doesn't happen overnight. Okay, so work on becoming your industry lender. Follow the industry trends. Remember, you just need to be a little step of the game, right, to be the industry, not the industry leader, but to be in that top percentage. As long as you know some more stuff and you're doing your reading, you're doing your learning, you're around that environment, the big fish, small pond, right? You'll be an even bigger fish. And when you do go into the big pond, you may be a smaller fish, but you go back to your workplace and you're a very, very big fish. So there's another idea. So here's the next idea. What are we on? 11, 12? I don't know. My job isn't to be counting this, by the way. My job is to just give you a download of stuff in as fast as possible to show you that 2% more is possible. And then we'll talk about the 5%, 10%, 20%, 100K Club later on. Emotional intelligence. Ever heard of that one? Emotional intelligence. So, if you think about it, it's not what you know. Yeah, you can know all this information, all this data, but you could imagine a scientist on the TV, yeah? A scientist on the TV explains around volcanoes. They go into all the geology and all the data and all the detail about volcanoes, and it starts to bore you to death. And then all of a sudden there's an exciting new action movie where there's a volcano involved and there's some movie star that's acting out as a doctor, and that movie gets your attention for 2.5, 3 hours around about a volcano and some scientists, yeah? It's because it's more interesting. They don't know the same information that this person has got a PhD in and spent their whole life researching around volcanoes, but it doesn't matter because you're switched off. You're not even listening, okay? So the idea here is that not just your communication skills are really important, as we mentioned before, but how do you know when something's sitting, yeah? How do you know that person's giving you feedback if you can't read it? How do you know what they're feeling and what they're thinking, what they're going through, their anxiety levels, yeah? How do you know what they're actually experiencing if you're not emotionally aware? What about yourself, yeah? What about when you get up on stage and do a public speaking or a presentation, regardless of whether it's a business capacity or it's someone's wedding or whatever, yeah? How do you handle your own emotions? What about from an internal perspective? How do you manage your emotions? And those emotions then get put over into an external perspective. So what sort of emotions are coming across? Are you even aware of that? What it means is you could be full of confidence and being bold, and the person that opposite you could be thinking, who's this egotistical bastard that's speaking to me? Yeah? We've got to be aware here, and this is emotional intelligence, this is understanding all the things that could be coming across, yeah, and being aware of that. And let me tell you, emotional intelligence in the future of a world of AI a world of computers, a world of emails, a world of notifications, the emotional side is going to start to get lost. So the people that can master emotional intelligence, who knows? Computers maybe even be programming emotion in the future. That might be the next step. Guess what? They're going to need people with emotional intelligence. How to increase your income by 2% in one vehicle. Here's another one. What about, we've spoke about your presence, yeah? Building that presence of you becoming that influencer. What about building that online presence? Building that online presence. What about building that offline presence? What about you getting out there? And we mentioned public speaking. What about if you do more public speaking events? Become the go-to expert, not just in your little pond, but in the big pond. What does that look like for you? I talked about imagination in the last episode, yeah. Right? What about if you could imagine what that would be like if you're out there influencing people? Start with just a group of 10 people that you're speaking in front of. 100 people. I remember when I spoke for the first time, it was in front of like 2 or 3 people. Yeah, most didn't turn up. Most didn't turn up. And I spoke for the first time, probably a decade now ago. And the amount of things that was going through my head, massive, massive pressure. Yeah, but after that, got up there, and it was the most amazing feeling. Even though I made a difference in those 2 or 3 people's lives, it was the first start. And then the next one, 10 people. Then the next one, 50 people. Then the next one, 100, 1,000. Yeah, people will start to gravitate more and more. But first of all, it needs you to go out your way and start thinking about this. Put yourself in these situations, which then leads on to the next point. Put yourself in more pressured situations that will allow you to grow. Put yourself in the situations, do what everybody else doesn't do, and then you'll get recognized for doing the things that people don't want to do. To achieve what others won't, do what others don't. There's the next point. Here's another point. Ready? Told you it's a quick download. Quick download, ladies and gents. We're just going over the tip of the iceberg with all these. We're not even going deep on them. Just imagine what happens when we do and you start to understand it at a deeper level. Any one of these points on a deeper level will see you through the 10%, 20%, 100k club. Yeah, you just got to choose which ones are right for you. But I can help you with that. I will help you with that. Yeah. So the next step is, now you're going out there and you're seeking more opportunities and put yourself in different situations. What about if you start to put yourself in different pools? Not just the big pool, but in more niche pools. What about if you find a specialized organization of something that you're really interested in, become the niche person in that, so niche that right, okay, here we go. The more niche something is, the more rare it is to come across. So if you can find something of very high value, for instance, if you was going to the doctors, you had a headache, yeah, you'd probably go and say, this headache's been going on for the past month, I've got this headache, yeah. A GP will see you, a general practitioner. If you had to go to the doctors and you had something very severe with your head, you had a brain tumour, yeah, would you go and speak to a GP and expect them to have all the answers? And if you were to pay them privately, would you be paying for a private GP? No, you would want the best brain surgeon. Okay, how much do you think a brain surgeon gets paid compared to a GP? Interesting. So this is what I mean. It's okay going niche, but also go niche where the value is as well. Because you can just go niche and there'll be nobody there. There'll be no money in the industry. So is it really going to be the thing you need to do? Well, now, not everybody thinks about money as well. It's not to say that this is all about the financial. Some people need niches where it's just about helping people. Yeah, but we are in the 100k club, ladies and gents. So I'm going to help you find that niche of how you can make a lot more money by niching yourself as well. Again, in later episodes. So the final one, I don't know how many we've done now. Yeah, must be approaching 20. Yeah, 15 to 20 maybe. Just goes to show that there's so many things here that we can start to do, and this is just from evidence of what I've worked with people in the past. And remember, this is just for 2%. That is easy. Now, before you listen to this podcast, if I'd have said to you, you can increase your income by 2%, what would you have said? Now you listen to all these points. What are you saying now? Yeah, becomes quite easy, right? So, do you still think that the 100k club is possible? Of course you do. You've just had some more evidence that it is. So, here's the final point. I did promise you a final one, and this is a real key one. Look, there's got to be promotions in your business, isn't there? Yeah, more job opportunities. And if people say there isn't, then it's because the business isn't growing. Okay? So there's some limiting beliefs around the C-suite or directors or whatever it is, or within the culture, that I've heard it quite a lot. Yeah, people don't move up unless someone leaves or dies. Bullshit. Yeah. The challenge is the business isn't growing to a position where it warrants to have more jobs being created. So if you can help that business grow, guess what? More roles and positions will become available. I sat with a 100 million plus turnover business, yeah, and I was coaching them, and I said to the C-suite, yeah, the CEO, CSO, CFO, yeah, COO, I said, is it possible for anybody on your shop floor to come around and sit around this table if they really wanted to and really tried? And every one of them agreed yes, because they've been on that journey, they've seen what's possible. So why can't you too? Yeah. If you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. So, is there opportunities and is there a place to seek out promotions in your business? And if the answer is no, it's not because there isn't any, it's because you're not very good at positioning it to show opportunity to the other people. Communication again, right? Influence, psychology, mindset, skills, leadership skills. These all come into this point. So the only thing that's really serious there is you haven't positioned it properly to the person as a decision maker around it. Again, that's what we'll talk about in great detail in the 100k club. Yeah. So there we go. As I just mentioned, there was a one on the end there that was real key. Ultimately, it's about you becoming a bigger influencer, seeking that value and being able to communicate so other people understand you of where that value is. Yeah, because if they can't see it, then you just haven't done a very good job at selling it to them. What is the mission for all businesses? To get smaller? To not make more money? To reduce revenue? To reduce profits? Of course it isn't. Yeah, of course it isn't. You just need to start talking their language, and I can help you with that in the 100k club. Ladies and gents, these last 20 minutes, I promised you a lot of pointers. Yeah, I've given them to you. I've delivered them to you. The question is now, what are you going to do about it? Will you take action on it? Are you going to do anything with this? Are you going to go any further and reach that 5%, 10% club, 20% club, 100k club? Yeah. For some people out there, the 20% may push them well over 100k. Yeah. Some people might need to some more help along the way and listen to some more episodes. But it's all there, ladies and gents. It's all there. And not just in the free content, in the members club as well, the 100k club members. So if you're a listener, if you're a follower, or if you are part of the 100k club members, I hope you've got massive value. And just take it from me. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Look for those opportunities. Take these points. Go and work harder on yourself. What I mean by that, learn the stuff. Yeah? Learn the stuff. Go out there. Read more stuff. Get around that environment. Keep learning. Working on yourself. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you in the next episode of the 100k Club.